There is a reason they plan to do it. It has nothing to do with what you see on television. The protests, the anger, the violence. They plan to take Trump out, not because he's a misogynist or racist, but rather because he's opposed to the North American Union. Trump delivered a dramatic rebuke to the NAU in his first speech as a presidential candidate. Trump's border wall had brought him to fame as a no-nonsense candidate. Trump wasn't just referring to a literal wall in his speech. He was specifically making a statement to the globalists. He will not cooperate with their agenda in the erection of a borderless society. The wall is the antithesis of the North American Union. It is a major slap in the face to those who have worked so hard to bring about the NAU from an idea to a reality. U.S. and Mexican presidents and Canadian prime ministers throughout the decades are responsible for bringing the NAU into existence through a series of secret agreements done without consent of the people and the country's legislatures. The most devastating one occurred under George W. Bush, called the Security and Prosperity Partnership of North America. There was almost no media exposure about the SPP, except to make fun of it as a conspiracy theory. But for you to truly understand the origin of the North American Union, you would need to go back to World War II. Even before it was completed, they had a strategy for the nations to be implemented in 1945 with the birth of the UN. The map was published back in 1941, and it depicted a world broken into approximately 10 regions. And one of those regions was the North American Union scenario. They set it up long ago, the ambition of a secret cabal lurking in the shadows, working to implement a new world order. In a 1990 speech given by George H.W. Bush, he heard this reinforced. What was implemented post-World War II will be carried out. Donald Trump isn't going to stop that.
This is a new and different world. Not since 1945 have we seen the real possibility of using the United Nations as it was designed, as a center for international collective security. It is in our hands to leave these dark machines behind, the dark ages where they belong, and to press forward to cap a historic movement towards a new world order and a long era of peace. We have a vision of a new partnership of nations, a partnership based on consultation, cooperation, and collective action, especially through international and regional organizations. A partnership united by principle and the rule of law and supported by an equitable sharing of both cost and commitment. A partnership whose goals are to increase democracy, increase prosperity, increase the peace.
Of the Security and Prosperity Partnership of North America, the SPP, which many consider to be simply a blueprint for the North American Union, would weaken U.S. laws and regulations and diminish American sovereignty.
And as we look to the future, the calendar offers up a convenient milestone, a signpost by which to measure our progress as a community of nations. The year 2000 marked a turning point, beginning not only the turn of the decade, not only the turn of the century, but also the turn of the millennium. I see a world of open borders, open trade, and most importantly, open minds. A world that celebrates the common heritage that belongs to all the world's people, taking pride, not just in hometown or homeland, but in humanity itself. I see a world building on the emerging new model of European unity. Not just Europe, but the whole world whole and free. I see a world of open borders, open trade, and most importantly, open minds. The new world order.
When Barack Obama went to Cuba, opened the border with the Cuban people, most celebrated this, believing it to be a good thing. And while we should support freedom for the Cuban people, we have to understand that Obama is merely following a blueprint for a new world order seen in the World War II map. While Bush opened up the mainland continent with the SPP, it's been Obama who has unlocked the entirety of the North American Union with his historic Cuba trip. According to the map, Cuba is a part of the Union. Trump is truly seen as a menace to what four former presidents have accomplished, each with historic visions for the establishment of the NAU, one region of 10 in the modern Agenda 21. Are you now seeing why Rockefeller, Soros, Bush, Bilderberg member Mark Wolf, media characters like William Crystal, George Will, Ross Douthat of the New York Times, and Glenn Beck hate Trump? These individuals are working for the full realization of the North American Union and ultimately the New World Order. Trump's basic policies, the border wall, his protectionist stances, and American first policies on trade, are 100% incompatible with the ushering in of the North American Union. The protests, organized by George Soros' Open Society Foundation, with his other entities like the Daily Kos, are merely meant to intimidate Trump's followers. The elites know what is at stake here. They'll do anything to stop him. I want to play a clip of Glenn Beck's radio show. He hosted a neocon guest who clearly opposes Trump, and he states why. It's because Trump is a protectionist.
He is a danger to America, and I got to ask you a question, and this is serious. This could bring down incredible heat on me because I'm about to suggest something very bad. It is a hypothetical I am going to ask as a thriller writer. With the feckless, spineless Congress we have, who will stand in the way of Donald Trump overstepping his constitutional authority as president? If Congress won't remove him from office, what patriot will step up and do that? I don't think there is a legal means available. I think it will be a terrible, terrible position the American people will be in to get Trump out of office, because you won't be able to do it through Congress.
Well, I would agree with you on that, and I don't think that you actually have the voices. We've been talking about this off air for a while. I think the voices like ours go away. I don't think that we are allowed, especially if things, and I believe the economy is going to go to crap. Even if Jesus was in office, it's going to naturally reset. It has to.
Under the policies of Trump, again, foreign affairs, look up what a Caudillo is. Caudillo. Trump is promoting a protectionism, a nationalism in economics. It has destroyed Latin America.
I know.
It has destroyed any hope of democracy down there. He will do the same thing here. If people say Hillary's worse, I hate Hillary Clinton's guts. Hillary Clinton will not do the damage Trump will do.
Mexican officials are perhaps the most outspoken in their opposition to Trump and his border wall. There's a reason why, and we see it stated in a recent quote by Mexico's finance minister. He said, quote, "Building a wall between Mexico and the United States is a terrible idea. It is an idea based on ignorance and has no foundation in the reality of North American integration, i.e., the North American Union." His statements are preceded by a lengthy history of Mexican officials who have openly discussed the notion of a North American Union.
A little bit of solidarity, a little bit of human attitude of working together as a team.
Would you like to see a North American? So what's your team? You go with
long
Mexico,
term, yes,
U.S.,
partners.
Canada? You want Canada in there? Would you like to see a North American?
You don't have to believe any of this. You can go throughout your day and ignore the truth. But I will tell you now, Trump stands in the way of their secret plan. And he's got to go. They'll make him go, if necessary. They've done it before, and they'll do it again.